Man, some of these Mount Rushmores are really, really, really getting out of hand, man. I just seeing this is really, just I think it's very out of pocket. The obvious answer right now we're looking at is Little Baby. Little Baby has just really started taking off. Most people were getting hip to his music and becoming aware of him around 2017, 2018. He's had a lot of hits. He's become a mainstream artist fairly quickly. He has dropped a couple of albums. He does a lot of great features. He's been on, songs with Drake and others. But to, have him on this list is something that I really can't rock with, and this is something that I honestly just don't agree with. Many people that are really avid Little Baby fans remember him being in music videos with the Migos. And I know that recently Little Baby has really skyrocketed up the charts, but he's not, better than the Migos. That's something that, and he was, in just their music videos. And so if he's not better than that group, and there's other groups that we can get into and talk about that they have artists that have had a bigger impact than Little Baby's had. Now, when you look at Future and Jeezy, these are guys that, they are Mount Rushmore type of artists, and they have had a tremendous impact. But when we have Rich Homie Quan on this list, this is another artist that I just don't see being one of the four GOATs of Atlanta. To be a GOAT, you have to have supreme impact. And you can't have people pausing and really not debating if you are a truly great artist, but really saying, like, in a flat way disrespecting them, saying that you shouldn't even be considered for this list. Again, that goes back to Little Baby. There's no way, I don't care what he does in his career, he can't be considered the GOAT of Atlanta. Now, that there's no shame in that. Atlanta has a lot of great artists. So, to be one of the four best or have one of the four biggest impacts, there is no shame in not being on this list. There's a lot of people that you got to pay homage to and respect to artists that were around before you were even born. Now, man, when you look at this list, there's so many people that you forget. Gucci Mane has had a tremendous impact on Atlanta. Gucci was that man. Andre 3000 was that man. Future's obviously on this list. Future is a tremendous artist. He's arguably one of the best four artists of the decade. So of course he's a guy that many people have on their list. Another person that a lot of people are talking about is 2 Chainz. 2 Chainz is an artist. I respect 2 Chainz as an artist. He's had an impact. Would I personally put him on my Mount Rushmore? It's kind of hard, but I can see why people do it. That is a great, that's a great debate, between him and T.I. I feel like T.I. has had a huge impact on Atlanta, not just Atlanta, the South, being the king of the South. T.I. has had a tremendous impact. The music is there, and it's very hard to argue him, not being a Mount Rushmore type of artist. Can we not forget about Jermaine Dupri? Now, Jermaine Dupri has had a roster, and he has a tremendous resume of artists that you just cannot disrespect or ignore. He has put so many people on. He has paved the way, and he has just made a tremendous impact. So Def and everything. He's Atlanta, and he does a lot for the Atlanta community. That's somebody that you just have to respect. Outkast, Andre 3000, Big Boy, whichever one you want to put Outkast on Mount Rushmore, or you want to just put one of the two. Some will favor Andre 3000 over Big Boy. Some will favor Big Boy. But these are just artists and people that have had an impact that's just a lot bigger than Little Baby and Rich Homie Quan. That's why I can't get into this list. Now, if we're talking, we can do Gucci versus T.I., can be on Mount Rushmore, T.I. versus 2 Chainz, but I don't want to have a conversation, and this is a conversation that's probably never going to happen, is that Little Baby deserves to be on a Mount Rushmore. I just don't see it happening. You got to just respect artists and the people that have had an impact on Atlanta. T.I. paved the way, opened the door for so many. Now, some people talk about 21 Savage on here. I can't put 21 Savage on this list. I think that's just trolls. I don't see 21 Savage. Now, you could, pay homage, respect. You know, Young Thug is somebody that many people, especially the new generation of people that listen to music, they have him on this list. I can't debate it. If you want to go by eras, I think that's a lot easier because if you're just talking about putting forward, Atlanta has so many great artists. If we want, Luda, Big Boy, 3000 Dupree, in maybe one category, you go Gucci, T.I., um, Jeezy, that's, three of them. I just think it's so hard, and that's a respect to Atlanta. They have so many great artists, and then you can go another era. Now, if you're talking about currently, the four GOATs, Little Baby would be on there. We'd have him, obviously Amigos, Slime, Young Thug. Those are, probably how I could see Little Baby been on it. Rich Homie Quan and Young Thug, they make great music, and you have to give respect to them. The Yin Yang Twins is somebody, that's not talked about. Diamond and Princess is not talked about. Atlanta has so many great artists. I think if you did it by era or like current gen and or previous generations, you can do that. But just having this list right here is a terrible list, and Little Baby and Rich Homie Quan do not need to be on it. But Atlanta has a lot of great artists, and just to dwindle it down to four is very tough.